Dear viewers, our today's topic are the difference between private and public company, and the second topic is the difference between equity share and preference shares. I have noticed that most of the students remain confused between these two types of companies, private and public company. But I am sure that after watching these video, your all the confusions will be removed and you will understand the key differences between these two types of companies. Without wasting your time, let's discuss our first topic, and that is the difference between private and public company. A public company is formed with minimum 7 members. For doing formation of public company, there must be minimum 7 members. There is a no restriction on maximum number of members, means a public company can have unlimited number of members, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 1 lakh, etc. Private company, a private company is formed with minimum 2 members, and private company can have maximum 200 members. So private company can be formed with minimum 2 members and it can have maximum 200 members only. In case of public company, it's compulsory to use the word limited at the end of the company's name, for example, ABC Limited. In case of private company, it's compulsory that word private limited should be used at the end of the company's name, for example, ABC Private Limited. Third difference, a public company shall have minimum 3 directors, and in case of private company, a private company shall have minimum 2 directors, not members, 2 directors. The share of public companies are freely transferable. This is the one of the most important advantages of the public companies, that the shares of the public companies are freely transferable. Means if you wanted to share the shares of public companies, you don't need to take anybody's permission. As per your wish, at any time you can share the shares of the public companies, because these shares are freely transferable. While the share of the private companies are not freely transferable, a public company needs 2 certificates before commencing its business. A public company needs 2 certificates. First, the certificate of incorporation or the certificate of registration, and second certificate is the certificate of the commencement of business. So a public company needs to receive 2 certificates before it start its business, while in case of private company needs only 1 certificate, that is certificate of incorporation. As soon as a private company receiving the certificate of incorporation, a private company can begin its operation. Next difference is it can invite the public to subscribe to its shares or debentures. Public company can invite general public for subscribing its shares or debentures. If you want to understand the difference between shares and debentures, please let me know by doing comment in the comment box. Private company, issue of the shares or debentures to the public is prohibited. A private company cannot issue shares or debentures to the general public. In a statutory general meeting, first let me tell you, it's a compulsory for the public company to conduct a statutory general meeting, but it is not compulsory for the private company to conduct a statutory general meeting. If public company is arranging a statutory general meeting, at least 5 members should be present. It's a compulsory that in that meeting, at least 5 members should be present. If the total number of members of the company are 1,000 or less, suppose company has a total 1,000 members or less than 1,000 members, then in the meeting, it's a compulsory that at least 5 members should be present. In case of private company, only 2 members are supposed to be present in the meeting. If only 2 members are attending that meeting, then also that meeting will be considered as a valid meeting. So these are the key differences between public and private company. Our next topic is also very, very interesting, and that is the difference between equity share and preference share. For raising share capital, it is mandatory to issue equity shares. If company wants to raise its share capital, company has to issue equity shares, and equity shareholders are the real owners of the company, because equity shareholders get voting rights, equity shareholders get voice in the management. So these equity shareholders are the real owners of the company. In case of preference shares, it's not essential, it's not compulsory for any company to issue preference share. It depends upon the wish of the company, it depends upon the wish of the higher management, that whether they are interested to issue preference shares or not. In case of equity share, the rate of dividend is not fixed. Even it is not compulsory for the company to issue dividend regularly on the equity shares. When company makes good amount of profit, and if higher management believes that these excess amount of profit should be distributed, should be allocated among the equity shareholders, then company may decide to issue dividend on the equity share. Otherwise, it is not compulsory, and most of the companies are not issuing dividend on the equity shares regularly. In case of preference shares, the dividend rate is fixed. The rate of dividend remains fixed. Third difference, the equity shareholders have right to attend the meeting. The equity shareholders have right to attend the meeting. They have voting right. Plus, they can do selection of the board of directors. It's within the power of the equity shareholders to do selection of the board of the directors, and these companies are managed by the board of the directors. Preference shareholders do not have voting rights. They can give vote only in the matter relevant to them. Equity shares are riskier. Why equity shares are riskier? There are two reasons. First, the rate of dividend is not fixed. The second reason is that at the time of liquidation of the company, the first capital is refunded to the preference shareholders. First, the capital will be given back to the preference shareholders at the time of liquidation, and that's why equity shares are riskier. Preference shares are less risky, because if you have bought preference shares, you are supposed to receive the income of dividend regularly, and the rate of dividend remains fixed. Equity shareholders are risk-taking investors, because equity shares are riskier. We have already discussed. The shareholder who wants stable income, assured income, they would like to do investment into preference shares. The market price of equity share keeps changing, and the rate of such share, means the rate of preference share, remains fixed, because preference shares are not listed on the stock exchange, and that's why the rate of preference shares remain fixed. So this is the difference between equity share and preference shares. Please don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe this channel, and don't forget to share these video with others. Thank you for watching this video. If you want me to cover any topic, please write the title of that topic, name of that topic in the comment box. Thank you once again. I'm ending this video, dear viewers.